welcome back people. Just to a quick one, hopefully quick. Here I'm going to explain how I approach the stroke order of a Kanji according to this book here. The question came through that it does give stroke order in the book. The stroke, how many strokes, it does give you the strokes here, what it says, how many strokes it gives per section. You can just see that yourself. It says 12 strokes there. What it doesn't do is say, look, start here, stroke, 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 stroke. But what the book does do is teach you about stroke order. If we go to the contents, let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Word, easy, layout, chronicle principles. It says here, look at the bottom here, the general principles of stroke order, page 41. So go to page 41. There it is, and it's here, and it's sort of saying the same sorts of things. Though there are inevitably a number of exceptions, most characters are written, you can't see that, can you? Most characters are written according to established principles of stroke order. A knowledge of three principles is important in order to achieve the proper shape and to write in the cursive style or semi-cursive style, in which normally separate strokes flow into one another. The basic principles listed below were issued by the Ministry of Education in 1958 and are considered the most authoritative. The guidelines apply either to individual strokes or to the arrangement of component elements, as the case may be. The first two are especially important. So you got three, the 325, whatever, I got three because that says three strokes, but 25, what 25 means, I don't know. So you got that there, word 118, not unless that's word 25, or is that word 118, guessed 270, left to right. I mean, you could do it that way. Horizontal strokes usually precede vertical strokes when crossing. So it's something you can read, and it goes on again, a whole page of extra tips that you could use and put into your way of doing things. Let me show you my way of doing things and how I approach it, and then you can perhaps look at what I've done as a guide. Only my view, okay people, only my view. As for this workbook, for which I've already completed, this workbook does teach you the strokes involved to producing hiragana and katakana respectively. So let's say we look at the vowel sounds of the hiragana, right? There's the chart, and there's the 46 symbols for hiragana, okay? And then over here it teaches you that symbol again, but changed in the diacritics. And then it also teaches you over here, if I can get the old book over, it also shows you the digraphs where they're like a compound word. They're putting the key and ya together to get kia, I suppose. So these are like the compound of those things. That's what digraphs are. And then what it won't teach you is the combination of those. It doesn't give you the stroke order to the digraphs. It doesn't give you the stroke order to the diacritics, but it does to the 46 symbols. If I show you here, it shows you here, over in this section over here, one stroke is this, two stroke is this, and three stroke is this. That Kanji book doesn't do this, okay? You have to sort of ad-lib a little bit. So let's open one up and I'll show you my approach, okay people? I'm going to, let's get that up. Let's do this. There, that'll do us. That's a nice beefy one. Firefly. Let's do this one and let me show you my approach. Because I've got, I like Firefly. Let's do this one together and you can see my approach because it's got vertical, horizontal, little noggins, all kinds of things. Let's zoom in a little bit more so you can see it. Can you see that? It's got, have I got a decent pen? Yeah, here, that'll do. We've got here, right, I'm going to start with this. 1, 2, and then that goes in that direction, 3. We've also got then this, I always like to say, do the vertical strokes first. But because we've got this horizontal here, that almost, if you think about it, it goes the full length of the entire thing. That there's a good marker to put. So it's got to overhang these 3 noggins. It also has a noggin at each end, but this one like a funny pointy one. Don't forget, this is stylistic of a cursive style, okay? This is a cursive stylistic review. I guarantee you, with what knowledge I do have of Japanese calligraphy, that you have got the mono version of this Kanji as well, which would be like, you know what I mean? There'll be a mono version. So don't beat yourself up if you haven't got it exactly like this. Then I'd probably do the vertical here and stop about there. I then would create this box, right, and then put 1 line across with the final noggin. Let's do that one so you can see that what I'm going to be doing and the order I'm going to be approaching the word or the Kanji firefly. So let's do firefly. Let me just zoom back out so you can see me, see me do it. Get me pen. I thought, do I get that brush out or just do it with this? So I'll do it with this. So my stroke order, my approach is to start top down. But then as soon as you can get to the vertical, do the vertical. So we're going to go 1, 2, and this one has to go slightly that way. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Then we have an horizontal that then is the full length of the thing. Yes, we have this one, which is that one. This one sort of does this move, doesn't it? Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah, I'm ad-libbing. Sort of that's how I'm doing it, ad-libbing type of thing. Then we can put the vertical in, which then does this. That's good. Then we have that little tiny small box that slightly comes down at an angle. Does that? Yeah, and that slightly goes up at an angle. Yeah, something like that. Yes. Then it has this move from. It has to stretch past this point up, and then it has a final noggin there. That would be my version ish, right? Very quick. I'd go for that idea of approach. Let's try another one. Hopefully then something a bit more easier. Find a brush. Let's go with what's on here. That's nice. That ice. The Kanji for ice. We'll do the Kanji for ice, okay? Because this is perfect, absolutely perfect. What I was going to try to achieve. The camera's in the perfect place. Because if you look, I'll get the pen back out actually and show you what I'm going to be doing and describe it to you how I'm going to approach it. Can you see that now? Yes, that's the Kanji for ice, and we've got this prominent downstroke and flick, okay? Then that's it. There's your first vertical stroke. There is no horizontal. It's a flick down, flick across, noggin. Done. How nice is that? So this is a perfect one to example, and we're going to do it now. Okay. Let's go like this. So the first noggin does this and does that. Yes, it does. You could even do this as one stroke, but don't touch it. That has to overextend. So there is like a slight thingy, and that comes off like that. That's good. This one touches the line, but doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Then this one comes off at this and does this, and then we have a little noggin. And that's the Kanji for ice. Yeah, I've probably gone too far on there, but this is being quick and fluid about it. Do you know what I mean? Very quick. But yeah, with the number 10 brush, different. Shall we try a more complicated one? There's this one, writing brush. Oh, ideal. Let's have a look at that guy. Look at this. That's wow, isn't it? Writing brush. How am I going to approach this? There's one long one down there, so I might start with that vertical actually. I might change the order a little bit, then I can see when I'm going with the top bit. So if I start with the vertical and then do that little thing, okay, let me show you my approach for this one. I'll stay on the same piece of paper, it should be fine. Now, get a new piece, it won't hurt. And then people, can you see? Not anymore, there you go. So, writing brush, okay. Let's start with that vertical, and that's quite a long vertical. So I want to go, can you see? Is it straight down? Yeah. There's me vertical done. And then it has a slight little, yeah, it's got this going. I'm having a little look, hang on people. Yeah, it has this move. Okay. And it's got one big long one that goes through that. Then it has two small ones going in that go like that, and one bigger, and then one big one that goes over like that. That's not too bad. And then this guy comes, can you see? This guy comes over like this, and it has a line. This guy comes over and it has a line. Then it has a noggin and a noggin. Oh, not too bad that. Yes, I'm doing basic. I'm doing like almost the mono version of it, but that is writing brush. If I had the brush, I'd be a lot smoother, a lot nicer, a lot tighter. But that is the Kanji in mono form, if you like, of writing brush. So try and get your vertical line in first, and then build out that from that side. If you need to, have a scrap piece of paper, get your little biro, or get a biro, and just try it out again. Let's try that one again, but a smaller version. So there's me long one. Then I'm going to do a little bit of this going on. Then I'm going to have a long one going through, and then it needs two smaller ones, yeah, and then a long one at the bottom, yeah. And then it needs this going in, noggin, and that's very quick. Again, flamboyant, being loose and free with it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, once you get used to ad-libbing some of these Kanjis out of here, and this is how I say things to myself, even when I'm doing calligraphy, I'm doing Spencerian writing. I have to go around, I have to do this, like this one, I have to start here, come down, or if it's the F, I've got to start with an upstroke, come up to the top, form a loop, come up, form a loop, and out. It's the same with this calligraphy, this type of calligraphy. You've got to say it out loud to yourself in your own mind. And if it helps you to say it out loud, say it out loud. I'm going to do a downstroke and a flick. I'm going to put this in and that in, that in and that in, and then a noggin. Or, for instance, let's turn the page, this one here. Translation or meaning. We've got, if you look at this one, I'm going to translate this one. Brilliant. We've got this downstroke, so we're going to do that downstroke first. We're going to cause a little square. We're going to go a downstroke over here. We're going to give it a noggin at the top there, just above this square. We're going to go horizontal, two small horizontals, and a small little square in the corner. And that will be the Kanji for translation and meaning. Okay? Just say it out loud to yourself as you go through it. Hopefully, people, you found this informative, and this is only my view on how to approach writing Kanji, or even writing Japanese symbols in general, you know, even these ones. But I learnt what I've learnt from this book anyway, so I can only give you my past experience and what I'm attempting to do and approaching when writing the Kanji from this. I'm saying it out loud. I'm trying to get my vertical in as soon as possible, but if there's a horizontal in the way, then I'm going to do the horizontal first, then put that down. And if the diagonal, I class the diagonal strokes as vertical ones also. Try and get all your straight ones in first, and then these in after your horizontal. Hopefully, people, you found my take on it entertaining, and hopefully you give this book a try, because it is absolutely fantastic. The more I read it, the more I use it, the more I look at the words and the meanings behind each of the Kanjis. It's absolutely fantastic. If you do want to get this book, I highly recommend it to learn the Kanji. There's a lot going on in each one of these sections, and if you get lost in what each of the sections mean, on the back it gives you what each part of the section looks like and what it means. Okay, people, I want to say thanks very much for watching this quick guide on how I approach writing Kanji. Thanks, guys. Bye now.